Earlier this year in March, an Air Canada regional jet crashed into a fire truck while landing at New York's LaGuardia airport, killing the two pilots and injuring several passengers. Today, the Wall Street Journal announced that the FAA is moving to fire two controllers that left their shifts early just prior to these events. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the Flight Levels. If you're new to the channel, my name's Joe. I'm a flight instructor and former air traffic controller. And if you haven't seen my previous video on the events in question, be sure to look for the thumbnail there in my video history. So, quick recap of the event in question. It was a very high workload time for the controllers at the LaGuardia airport. There have been thunderstorms for the past several hours, lots of delays. And there was an unrelated United Airlines flight that had declared an emergency by the terminal, and fire trucks were called on the west side of the airport. They needed to cross runway 4. Air Canada was also cleared to land on runway 4, and Air Canada collided into the fire truck. Now, it's important that I point out, so far the NTSB has not released their final report regarding this event. However, in the meantime, the Wall Street Journal has just reported that the FAA is initiating actions to fire two controllers that had been on shift just prior to this crash. And they've also reported that there is a culture of air traffic controllers leaving their facilities prior to the end of their shift, and that this is a systemic issue amongst the controller community. If you're a student pilot working on your private, instrument, or commercial certificate, be sure to check out checkride.flight-levels.com, where you can practice taking a mock oral exam with an AI-powered DPE. Go through all of the subject areas of the ACS. Try the demo for free today. So, in support of the FAA's decision, this was an incredibly serious crash. Two pilots died, and it's not good optics that the traffic was busy and two controllers were just like, all right, we're out of here, see you later, when presumably they might have been able to help the controllers that were working the positions since it was so busy. And further, employees leaving their shift early, that's fraud. And last I checked, the government doesn't like people stealing from them. They're being paid for time that they're not there. It's not a good look. And the government wants to make sure that everybody understands it is not okay with that stance. Now, on the other hand, the FAA's air traffic controller shortage has been in the media a little bit lately. So at the moment, there are an estimated 11,000 fully certified controllers working at the moment, and that is nowhere near enough. Now, also allegedly, the FAA has been hiring controllers at a very rapid pace and also trying to train these controllers to become fully certified just as fast. So, if we have two fully certified controllers at LaGuardia, firing them is not helping the situation. Presumably, staffing was a causal factor in this incident, so firing two of the controllers isn't really going to help that. Also, at the same time, there is precedent over this action of controllers leaving their shifts early. So back in 2021, there was an incident at the Ronald Reagan Airport involving Kamala Harris's vice presidential helicopter. And it was brought to light that controllers there had a culture of the, as it's called, early shove, or leaving their shift early. And in that incident, the FAA decided not to pursue any penalties against these controllers because their managers gave them the okay. So that doesn't make this action okay, but it does set a precedent that the FAA has already turned their head and looked the other way for this action. So why are they choosing it differently here? So in an effort to provide all perspectives here, let's say you're a controller and you just worked a really difficult 8-hour shifts and you have a half hour left. So you just went on break, and at the end of your half-hour break, it's time for you to go home. So you know there's no chance of you getting back on position. And in the meantime, your supervisor just kind of winks at you and says, all right, buddy, like, get on out of here. We're not going to put you back on position. What would you do? Would you stick around just because, you know, that's the right thing to do? Or would you say, man, it's been a rough day, I'm gonna go grab a beer, I'm out of here? So I'm not saying it's right, just put yourself in that position yourself. So where does that leave us? Do you guys think that firing these 2 controllers is the right amount of accountability? Was there absence in the tower cab during this event the straw that broke the camel's back and led to the crash? On the other hand, do you guys think the FAA is shooting themselves in the foot for firing 2 controllers on an already short-staffed facility? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune into the flight levels to learn more about flying in the National Airspace System. My name's Joe, and remember, don't just fly, climb to the flight levels.